Have you ever noticed how confusing it feels to do everything correct and still feel financially stuck? You didn't blow your money. You didn't make reckless decisions. You didn't chase shortcuts. You studied, you got a job, you avoided obvious mistakes. And yet, your bank balance never seems to move in a meaningful way. Not backward, but never forward either. That feeling, that quiet frustration, is what we're talking about today. A familiar life, almost everywhere. Let's start with a very ordinary situation. Nothing extreme, nothing irresponsible. Imagine someone in their late 20s or early 30s, living in the United States or Europe. They earn about $4,200 a month after tax. In Europe, maybe that's 3,800 euros. The numbers vary, but the structure stays the same. They feel decent. Not rich, not struggling, just stable. Where the money actually goes. Rent or mortgage comes first. A modest apartment, not luxury, not tiny either. About $1,600. Utilities, internet, phone, another $250. Transportation, maybe a car payment, maybe public transit plus occasional ride shares, roughly $450. Groceries and basic food, not eating out every night, about $500. Health insurance, subscriptions, small recurring costs, another $300. Now student loans or credit cards. Nothing crazy, just what most people carry, around $400. Let's pause. That's already about $3,900 out of $4,200. What's left? $300. On paper, this person is doing everything right. They're not reckless, they're not irresponsible. So why does life still feel tight? The quiet assumption most people never question. Here's the belief most people absorb without realizing it. If I earn more, this problem will solve itself. So they push forward. They get a raise, a better job, a promotion. Income rises from $4,200 to $5,200. And for a brief moment, things feel lighter. Then something subtle happens. The apartment gets a little nicer, the car payment increases slightly, convenience becomes normal. Nothing dramatic, just adjustments. Within a year, expenses rise to $4,800. Now the leftover is $400. They earn more, but the feeling is identical. This isn't failure, it's something deeper. The hidden mistake isn't spending. Most people think the problem is discipline, that they're spending too much or budgeting poorly. But that's not it. The real issue is structure, not behavior. Their entire financial life is built so that income growth automatically gets absorbed by lifestyle stability. Not luxury, stability, comfort, predictability. They aren't buying sports cars, they're buying relief, the math nobody shows you. Let's zoom out. Saving $300 a month feels responsible. It looks good. That's $3,600 a year. After 5 years, about $18,000, assuming no major emergencies. Sounds okay. But here's the problem. That money is not changing the structure of your life. It doesn't reduce your fixed costs. It doesn't buy freedom. It doesn't lower dependency on income. It just sits there as a buffer, a necessary buffer, but not leverage. Why the brain chooses this path? This isn't stupidity, it's psychology. Your brain prioritizes short-term certainty over long-term leverage. A slightly nicer apartment feels safer. A reliable car feels responsible. A predictable lifestyle reduces anxiety. So when income increases, your brain doesn't think, how do I increase margin? It thinks, how do I reduce discomfort? And that choice feels rational because emotionally, it is the long-term consequence no one warns you about. Here's what happens if this continues for 10 to 15 years. You earn more, your lifestyle stabilizes higher, your fixed costs grow. You save consistently, but slowly. You become financially heavier. More obligations, more dependency on steady income, less flexibility. You're not broke, but you're trapped in a very expensive version of normal. And exiting that structure later becomes harder, not easier. What financially intelligent people see differently. Now here's the quiet shift. People who eventually escape this loop don't start with better income. They start with a different mental model. They don't ask, how much can I afford? They ask, how hard is my life to sustain? They don't optimize for comfort first. They optimize for margin. Margin between income and obligation, because margin creates options, and options create freedom. A subtle but powerful example. Imagine two people earning the same $5,000. Person A structures life at $4,700. Person B structures life at $3,500. Both look normal, both live well. But person B has $1,500 of margin. That margin can absorb shocks. It can fund skill growth. It can buy time. Person A has none. Same income, very different futures. This is not about sacrifice. This is important. This is not about living miserably. It's about recognizing that early comfort has a hidden cost, and delayed comfort has compound returns. Financial intelligence isn't about cutting joy. It's about deciding when to buy it, why doing everything right still feels wrong. If you feel stuck despite being responsible, it's because the system rewards stability, not flexibility. It rewards consistent earners, reliable borrowers, predictable consumers. And unless you consciously resist that gravity, you'll drift exactly where the system wants you. Comfortable, dependent, replaceable. The calm truth. There is nothing wrong with you. You didn't fail. You followed the default path perfectly. This video isn't about changing everything overnight. It's about noticing the structure you're standing on. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And awareness is the first real form of financial control. If this helped you think more clearly, not feel motivated, not feel guilty, just more aware, you can like the video or subscribe. Not for inspiration, just for better thinking.